5 years ago, we bought this abandoned piece of land in Portugal to try to find another way of living. And since then, we've been setting up our base camp, renovating old ruins with natural materials, while documenting what we do so we can all learn from it.
And in this video, we're gonna be working in this big patch in Midland to see what we can do with it in the future.
Welcome to a new Project Kamp update. Over the last few years, we've worked a lot in the Midland to transform it into a new living area. We've explored, brush cut, chopped trees, moved in some trailers, and renovated ruins, and even found an old leaking basin. But still, there is a lot of this place that we want to uncover.
Here is a big flat area really taken over by mimosas. It is very overgrown. Quite a challenge to even walk around. And we will also work at this other patch that leads to the bottom field of the land. It is one big spiky bush forest. So, seems like a job for the landscaping team. First thing we need to do is defining the border in the area we will be working in. Let's get started.
Fully safety kitted out. Helmets, fire extinguisher for the end of the fire season, boots, pads, helmet. Let's do some chopping.
What else you want?
What more do you need? Don't answer that.
Wow! Look at this, man.
Corridor right through the forest. This stuff we keep, this stuff we chop. Simple.
Okay, so we chopped up the whole path, and that naturally led us to this one. And this border naturally connects to the bottom field again, and then back to the Midland, and that's where we have a natural border as well. So now it's quite clear for us where the patch is.
So that means we can now chop inside the patch. We've got our border, and now we're going to start by clearing this entrance, get a bit of better access, and then we can clear out in the middle. Let's do it, Jakob. Let's go.
Let's go!
Thanks for watching. A little natural clearing in the middle here. So now we have a path right in there. There's a lot of space opened up. And that's what, I don't have a watch, but like 30 minutes. This is gonna be a quick job, I think. Not bad. It's a little bit easier to walk then, huh?
Yeah, now we can plan. We even found one oak.
Whoa. Oak tree. It's gonna be as tall as these someday. And after the first day of chopping, we just got confirmation that a wood chipper is gonna come tomorrow morning. So we wanna be able to have it drive into the patch that we've just cleared so that it can chip as we go. And for that, we're gonna need to bring in the digger.
Road done. Alright, so we're finished with the first task. We cleared the entrance, so now you can get into the area really well. Now we're gonna try something new, because we're gonna cut the trees and then we're gonna throw them straight into the chipper, and hopefully that saves us some work. So we're gonna move the chipper back there, and then we're gonna start chipping, chopping and cutting.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah. You get the oh yeah zo?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just quicker cutting trees with a brush cutter, especially when they are this small and dead. A lot quicker than a chainsaw.
Firewood chipper.
Boom, okay. Yesterday was a very good day, as you can see. Lots of wood chips and lots of mimosas cleared. Like 90% of this thing has been thinned out. So that means there's 10% in the back corner, and it is now Friday. And before lunch, we want to try and cut the rest of that so that it's cleared. We can sleep well at the weekend, knowing the whole thing has been thinned out. So let's get to work. I will say it looks very, very close to the ground. You're not wrong. We're using some old used chainsaw blades, sharpening them a bit, but we're trying to get it as close to the ground so that we don't leave any stumps for this flat area. It's a sacrifice, but it's working out okay. Okay, so now that it is thinned out, we've spotted quite a lot of different things as we were chopping, and it really opens up the space to reveal things such as bumps on the ground, very evenly spread out, almost as if it was farmland. So maybe this is like old potato growing, water lines, some sort of crop thing. That's kind of cool. There were a couple small pine trees that we found in amongst the patch, some bigger ones too. And a couple massive eucalyptus trees, very chunky, very good for shade. Not an ideal species, but I think a lot more sturdy than mimosas, which would be good.
Now we can really see what we want to do with the space. Gonna jump right into some planning. And now I'm just wondering, what is Anselmo doing?
Life goes on without you.
I'm just a gigolo.
So, as you can see, we have this slope here in Midland, and now it's very disgusting because it's full of stump and resprout. First step is gonna be remove all of the stump and the resprout with that, and then smoother a little bit the slope so it's gonna be more gentle. So that's the plan. It's gigantic, but digger. So far so good. One day, just remove all the stump. Now what I want to do is remove all the stump from the patch. We'll bring in the pickup. So let's do that. Jesus Christ.
Film me wearing my safety boots. Wow! That was just one.
So that was the last trip with the stump. Now we go back there on the digger and we start smoothing the land a little bit. Okay, so we are finally done. It was actually very fast and very easy, but thanks to the digger we can do this work very fast now. Now we have a nice slope which is very smooth. There is almost no stump, so that's good. That's more easy to maintain. I know what you're thinking, guys. Of course the soil looks very raw and very rough, but we just need some time and some grass will grow, so that's cool. And now that I'm finished, I can actually go help the guys that are cutting the big pads there. So let's see how they're doing.
Alright, so now that we're done with the first patch over there, and since that was quite good, I guess, we're gonna continue down there and do some brush cutting.
Oh yeah, it's gotten super overgrown with a lot of brambles, more that than mimosa. So if we're gonna chop these trees along the edge, we wanna clear a space down there and see what that looks like too. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Bom dia.
Today's the day.
It's a beautiful day in Kamp, but fire risk. Oh no. It hasn't rained in over a week, so we've got until 11 a.m. and we're gonna get some of this chopping done. Anselmo is down in the bottom patch doing some brush cutting, but there's still a lot of trees to go.
So we focus on the leaning trees, because they will probably fall over the winter anyways. And then we're gonna see where it takes us, right? I guess we go step by step, try to cut as many trees as possible without opening the space too much.
most importantly, the pickup doesn't have to hit this every single time it drives down the road. So, no time to lose. Chainsaw expert, let's do our thing. Whoa! Fashionista. Okay, lots of little small ones. Now we got another big one. We only film the big ones in landscape team. This time, it's the money shot. Is it gonna hit the pig trailer?
Nope.
Let's see. Boom! Hear those church bells now, so it's officially after 11, no power tools, and that means we are going to manually tidy up the rest of this for another day's work. Let's go. Another beautiful morning here. We're going to cut the trees along this bottom patch that we brush cut, and we got the perfect team for it. And now finally down to the bottom patch. What a team! Let's get in.
That's the next big fella which needs to go. It's always said to cut big trees, but this one is really bendy and it will probably break over the winter. So we're getting rid of it now, so we have less to do in next year.
He's a chunky boy.
Landscaping family picture. Well, it's another morning. Today Bruno is here again. We have the chipper. We're just getting started because the fire risk is high again and we only have till 11. And we are starting at 8 o'clock today, so it's only 3 hours. Well, let's see how much we can chip.
We're back up to the top patch. We're gonna chip along this border and especially down the back here because there's still the possibility of us expanding more that way. Not in the entrance, but let's get these paths cleared. Vamos!
on to the last ones. I made a little bit of a mess, but we have to clean it up later. Now I'm just thinking about cutting one last tree. Easy. Alright, that's it. Quite a productive 2 days, 2 mornings to be fair. We're gonna help Bruno load the van and then hopefully can wrap this up this week. Nice. Good job, guys.
Ciao, Bruno.
Yeah.
So now that the work is done, we've got a lot of trunks lying around. We got piles here, 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 and here, which is a lot of wood. We are beside the living spaces in the middle land, so we see this as a lot of good firewood. We're gonna chop it up into little chunks, stack it up nearby the trailers, and that should be pretty good for winter. And now that most of the wood has been removed from this area, where there are a lot of brambles, means we can come in here and brush cut this area nicely. Boom!
Last ones. Good job.
Firewood. The stack is complete on this one anyway. We've got another stack down there which we're going to leave as a big pile over winter. It's a bit big, but for now that is the last step of the work and we're finishing up the project for this season.
Yeah, let's take a look what we did, right?
Let's go.
Let's go! We have this slope behind me where all the stumps have been dug out and Anselmo did a really good job smoothing it. And once we bring out all the seeds, when the rain starts, it will be really easy to maintain. Here at the top patch we made a really good job in clearing most of the mimosa trees and it was super overgrown, and now we have a better understanding of the space and the possibilities we have. And also we kept a lot of shade and hopefully that will help with the resprouts in the winter. We also had the bottom patch which was super overgrown with brambles, and also the mimosas which are now cut back to the slope, and now the native species have a lot of space to grow. Now with all the open space we have a way better understanding for all the possibilities for future projects here.
That's all we're going to do for this season though. We're going to leave these spaces over winter, see how they behave, and maybe next season there's more work to be done here. But in the meantime, landscaping is wrapping this project up. We're going to go eat our dinner and sayonara. So that's it for this update. If you like what we do, you can subscribe on Patreon. Get the videos 1 week ahead in 4K with no ads and some extra content that we post there. Otherwise, we'll see you back here next week on YouTube. Same time, same place.